Hi Nana. In our previous video, we learnt about water. Okay, question mark related to water. So first question we finished. Second question also we have discussed about point A, B. Okay, now in this video we will continue with point C of second question. So according to second question point C, so there is a soluble gas in water, so which acts as food for plant. So what is that gas? What is that soluble gas? So out of these four, out of these five answers, you have to choose the correct one. See, actually, what is this one? Copper sulfate pentahydrate. So it is a solid. It is not a gas. Sodium metal. It's a solid. It's not a gas. Potassium nitrate. It's a solid. It's not a gas. Carbon dioxide. It's a gas. Unsaturated solution. Okay, it's a liquid. Okay, so this should be the answer. Okay, see actually, uh, so generally, what are the gases which are soluble in water? Oxygen, if you take, it is insoluble in water. Hydrogen, it is insoluble in water. Oxygen is very slightly soluble in water, and that a very slightly soluble water oxygen, it is taken by the living organisms present in the water, like fish, okay, for their respiration. So don't think that oxygen is soluble in water. Oxygen is, it is insoluble, almost insoluble, but very slightly soluble in water. Okay. Hydrogen is also insoluble in water. Gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, okay, nitrogen oxides, they are soluble in water. HCl is soluble, ammonia is soluble, okay, so etc. So these are soluble gases. Okay, here in this question under column B, so carbon dioxide is given. So carbon dioxide, generally it is used as food for plants, because this carbon dioxide helps in the preparation of food material. Carbon dioxide helps in the preparation of food material during the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so like this. So for the second, for the C question, we can write the answer. We can choose the answer as carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is the correct answer. So which is the gas? So here for this, for the C, so it is for C it is fourth one, and for okay, for B it is second one, and for A it is first one. For A it is first one. Okay, right. So now we will learn the D option, D question. Question D. Next one is D. So D question. What is this one? A silvery white metal. A silvery white metal which reacts explosively with cold water, with cold water. Okay, so what is that metal? See, actually the color of that metal is silvery white metal, and it reacts explosively with cold water. So generally, which metals will react with cold water? Metals like potassium, sodium, calcium. Only these three metals will react with cold water. Okay, so out of these three, so actually if you speak about calcium, so that calcium, it is a whitish gray in color. So calcium, it is whitish gray color metal, and these two are silvery white color. They are silvery white in color. Okay, and these two, they react explosively. And they catch fire and they float on water. But calcium, it sinks in water, hence it does not catch fire. Okay, so here in the question, what is that question? Silvery white metal. So silvery white metal which reacts explosively with cold water. So here these two will react explosively with cold water. Okay, and even this also can react with cold water, but not explosively. And here, as in the question, explosively react with cold water, and also it should be silvery white. So that means these two. So now check the answers. So sodium metal is given. So that is the answer. So because potassium is not given, so sodium is given. Hence that is the answer. So this is the answer for question D. Sodium metal is the answer for the question D. Okay. Next. So next question is E question. What is question E? Question E is a blue colored salt. A blue colored salt. A blue colored salt which gives off steam. A blue colored salt which gives off steam on strong heating. On strong heating. See, remember that generally blue colored salt. So by looking into this one, we can imagine that salt, it may be copper sulfate, because the color of copper sulfate is blue color. See, this is copper sulfate, hydrated copper sulfate. So this is what? Hydrated copper sulfate. Generally copper sulfate, it is not blue in color, so it is white in color. But if you pour some water, or else if this copper sulfate come into contact with moisture, then what happens? This will absorb the moisture. If you add some water, or else if you add some moist air, then what happens? It will absorb water molecules. After absorbing water molecules, this one will convert into this one. It will take 5 water molecules. Every copper sulfate molecule will take 5 water molecules and turn into blue color. Okay, got it. So here this is called as anhydrous copper sulfate. Anhydrous copper sulfate. But this is called as hydrated copper sulfate, because hydrated means water is present. So when water is present in the salt, then such a salt are said to be hydrated salts. So as it is copper sulfate, hence it is called as hydrated copper sulfate. It is called as hydrated copper sulfate salt. Okay, hydrated copper sulfate salt. Okay, it's a hydrated copper sulfate salt. Right. So here the question is a blue colored salt which gives off steam on strong heating. See this particular salt. See, copper sulfate, hydrated copper sulfate. If you heat it, what happens? Generally, any hydrated salts, when heated, those salts, they lose their water. they lose their water of crystallization. So such water when present in this salt, such water is said to be water of crystallization. Okay, when a salt containing water of crystallization, if a salt contains water of crystallization, and when that such particular salt is heated, what happens? That salt will lose its water of crystallization in the form of steam. So what happens after losing this one? What happens? It will convert into CuSO4, and it loses water in the form of what? In the form of steam. Okay, so generally any hydrated salt upon strong heating, they loses water of crystallization initially first. Okay, and after losing water of crystallization, so what is left over? The leftover one is said to be anhydrous salt. So which salt it is? This anhydrous salt is copper sulfate salt. So what is this one? This is called as anhydrous copper sulfate. Okay, suppose if it is zinc, generally zinc will contain 7 water molecules. So that means, suppose if it is zinc, then it is called as hydrated zinc sulfate. So the color of this one is white, but here in the question it is blue color. So answer is this one only. But just I am explaining about you this. This is also as it is hydrated salt. If you heat this one, what happens? So it will lose its water of crystallization. Okay, water of crystallization is lost in the form of steam. And what is left over? So zinc sulfate is left over. Now this is called as, suppose if it is zinc sulfate, okay, then it is said to be anhydrous zinc sulfate. This is also white in color. Okay. So but this one is hydrated copper sulfate. It is blue in color. Okay, it is a very brilliant blue. So it is very it will be very awesome to look at. It will be very beautiful to look at. Okay, so this is the answer for the question E. Okay, so a blue colored salt which gives off steam on strong heating, okay, is called as what? It is called hydrated copper sulfate. It is called as hydrated copper sulfate. Okay. So actually hydrated copper sulfate, this is hydrated copper sulfate. It is also called as blue vitriol. It is also called as blue vitriol. Generally vitriols means sulfur containing compounds. So generally the name, this word vitriol is used for the compounds which contain sulfur. Okay, but not for all sulfur compounds. But generally this term vitriol is used for the compounds which contain sulfur in the form of sulfates. Okay, right. So this is all about the second question. Now we will learn the third question and answer. Okay, right. So what is the third question? So in third question there are some statements and those statements are not correct. So there are some incorrect statements in the third question. We have to write the correct statements, okay, from those incorrect statements. So now let us see the third question. Okay, so write the correct statements. Write the correct statements, okay, for the following. Okay, for the following. So here sub question A. Anhydrous copper sulfate. Anhydrous copper sulfate. Okay. Anhydrous copper sulfate turns pink. Okay. That means this copper sulfate. So this substance will it will turn to pink. Okay. On addition of on addition. Okay. On addition of what? Few drops of water. On addition of few drops of water. Okay. Anhydrous copper sulfate turns pink on addition of few drops of water. Is it correct? No, it is not correct. So generally anhydrous copper sulfate, this is called as anhydrous copper sulfate. So if you add some water, what happens? So this water is taken by copper sulfate, okay, and forms a hydrated copper sulfate. Okay, it will take water and forms hydrated copper sulfate. So how many water it is taking? So 5 water molecules it is taking. So now the color of this one is blue. The color of this one is blue. But here in the question, anhydrous copper sulfate turns. This is what? This is anhydrous copper sulfate. Anhydrous copper sulfate. So it is turning into blue. But here in the question, anhydrous copper sulfate turns pink. So is it turning pink? No, it is not turning pink. Upon addition of water. So when water is added, which substance will turn to pink? Cobalt chloride. Anhydrous cobalt chloride. Okay, what is the formula of cobalt? Cobalt chloride COCl2. So this is called as anhydrous cobalt chloride. Anhydrous cobalt chloride. Okay, anhydrous cobalt chloride. It turns to pink. So when addition of water, when water is added, what happens? It turns to pink. This substance, actually, this is blue in color. Actually, the color of this one is blue. The color of this one is blue originally. So upon addition of water, what happens? It will absorb water and convert into hydrated cobalt chloride. This is called as hydrated cobalt chloride. So it is pink in color. This is pink in color. So here in the question, these two are mixed. So this question is wrong. So what should be the answer? Instead of pink, if you write blue, then that is right. Or else, instead of this one, if you write cobalt chloride, then also it will be correct. Okay. So here, if it is anhydrous cobalt chloride, if you add water, what happens? It will turn to pink. Or else, if it is anhydrous copper sulfate, if you add water, then it will turn to blue. Okay, so either this one is correct or this one is correct. But here the question is wrong. Okay, so here either we have to change this one into cobalt chloride, or by keeping this one like this only, we may change this one into blue, then it will become correct. Okay, right. Next. Okay, next question is B. Question B, related to third one. What is the question? Solubility of calcium sulfate increases. Solubility of calcium sulfate increases. Solubility of calcium sulfate increases with the rise in temperature. With the rise in temperature. That means when temperature is increased, when temperature is increased, when temperature is increased, so the solubility of substance is increased. So here actually, so which substances, whose substances solubility increases when temperature is raised? When temperature is raised, solubility of only very few substances are increased. So here calcium sulfate, but the calcium sulfate's temperature decreases when calcium sulfate solubility decreases when temperature is increased. So already we learnt solubility of calcium sulfate, sodium sulfate decahydrate, okay, ceric sulfate, okay, ceric sulfate, calcium hydroxide, etc. What happens? Their solubility, their solubility decreases. Their solubility decreases when temperature is raised. When temperature is raised, when temperature is increased. So the solubility of these particular substances decreases when temperature is increased or else temperature is raised. So here solubility of calcium sulfate is increased. So in the question it is given as increased. So we have to change this one. So instead of increase, what we have to write? We have to write decreases. Then the statement will become correct statement. Okay, right. So what is the answer? So here we have to change. This is wrong and we have to write increases. Okay, so already you have learned this one. What is the answer for this question? So we have learned. So there are two chances. We may change either here or else either here. Okay, but here for this B question, solubility of calcium sulfate, it should decrease when the temperature is raised. Okay, when the temperature is increased. So what is the answer? So this is, we have to rewrite this one. We have to remove this one and we have to write a decrease. Then it will become a correct statement. Okay, right. So what is the answer? Answer should be decreases. Okay, so answer should be decreases. So this will become the right answer. Okay, right. Next C. Question C. What is question C? See next C question. Solubility of sodium chloride increases with rising temperature. Solubility of sodium chloride increases with the rise in temperature. So is it right? No. Even this also not right, because so it does not change. Sodium chloride, the solubility of sodium chloride. What is sodium chloride? NaCl. It is also called as table salt. Okay, here there are certain substances whose solubility does not change with temperature. They are not affected. Okay, solubility of sodium chloride, solubility of potassium chloride, solubility of lithium chloride. So their solubility. Okay, for these substances solubility remains same, remains not changed or else remains unaffected. Solubility remains unaffected. Okay, when temperature is changed, when temperature is changed, what happens? So when temperature is changed, the solubility remains unaffected for these substances. So here sodium chloride is given and it is given as increases, solubility increases. So that is wrong. So what we have to do? We have to change this one into like this. So solubility remains unaffected. Okay, solubility remains. So what is the answer to this question? What is the correct answer? Solubility remains unaffected with the rising temperature. So that will be the correct answer for this one. Okay. Shall I write the correct answer? Solubility remains unaffected. Okay, solubility of sodium chloride remains what? Unaffected. Unaffected. Okay, with a rising temperature. So that will be the correct answer for this question. Okay, right. Next D question. Question D. What is that question D? A solution which cannot dissolve. A solution which cannot dissolve. Okay, a solution which cannot dissolve. More of solute. More of a solution which cannot dissolve more of solute at a given temperature. At a given temperature. Okay, is at a given temperature is called unsaturated solution. This is wrong. Unsaturated solution. So actually, in the previous video we learned about this one. So here, so it cannot dissolve more. If a solution is unable to dissolve more of solute. So what is the meaning of this one? A solution is unable to dissolve more of a solute means, so in that the gaps between the water molecules, supposing these are the water molecules, okay, then the gaps between the water molecules are filled with solute. When the gaps between the water molecules, if they are filled with the solute particles, then what happens? So there won't be any space for the more substance or else more solute. If you want to add more solute, and if you want to add some more solute, that means additionally if you want to add some solute, what happens? As there are no gaps, because all the gaps are filled. So here, as all gaps are filled, as there are no gaps in the solution, what happens? So this additional salt or else this more salt, don't think that it is as more. It is not a name. So some more salt. Okay. So if you add some more salt, what happens? This solution cannot accept. That means this solution cannot take in, or else this solution cannot dissolve some more amount of solute. Okay, such a solution we cannot call it as unsaturated solution. Such a solution, as it is unable to dissolve, so what happens if you add some more salt into that solution? So into that solution, now what happens? That salt it remains undissolved. It remains undissolved and settles at the bottom. It will remain undissolved and settle at the bottom. Okay, such a solution is said to be saturated solution. Saturated solution. In Telugu we will call it as Santrupti Chandina Dravam. Okay, Santrupti Dravanam will that means it cannot accept anymore. So already it is satisfied. So all the gaps are filled with the salt or else with the solute. As all the gaps are filled with the salt or solute, it cannot accept anymore. Suppose if there is a classroom and in the class, if all the benches are filled by the students, okay, then if some new students have come, so can we accommodate those new students in that class only, or else will we make another section? So we cannot accommodate those students in the class, because that class is filled with the students. So the newly came students, so we cannot accommodate, we cannot add them into the same class. Okay, so in the same way, when the solution is not having any gaps between the water molecules, so we cannot add extra amount of solute. Even if you add extra amount of solute, what happens? It remains undissolved and it will settle at the bottom. Okay, so such solution which is not having any gaps between water molecules, we should call it as saturated solution. But here in the question, it is given as like this: a solution which cannot dissolve more of solute. What's the meaning of cannot dissolve more of solute? That means no gaps in the between the water molecules, there are no gaps. So at a given temperature, so it is called unsaturated solution. So is it unsaturated solution? No, it is not unsaturated solution. So the solution is said to be saturated solution. Okay, that solution is called as saturated solution. It is not unsaturated solution. Okay, so like this. Next, one more question in the one more sub question in the third question. What is the next sub question in the third question we will learn? Next question E. E. What is this one? Weight of solute in grams. Weight of solute in grams. Weight of solute in grams, which dissolves in which dissolves in 100 grams of solvent. 100 grams of solvent. Okay, at any temperature, okay, is called its solubility. Its solubility. Okay, so actually this is the definition of this should be the definition of solubility. See, but here there is a small change is required. So it should not be at any temperature. So actually at a given temperature, at a particular temperature, or else at a given temperature. Okay, see, look here. When temperature is increased, the weight of solute also will require more. Okay, when temperature is increased, so we can the solute we can add some more solute. When temperature is decreased, we cannot add some more solute. We have to add less solute. Okay, so here at any temperature, so this is wrong. So instead of at any temperature, at a given temperature, or at a particular temperature, okay, then the definition will become the correct definition. Okay, so like this I mean the third question can be explained. Okay, so we will learn the other answers. We'll learn the other answers in the next video.